back, everybody. Today's the day. We're going to do a quick little walkthrough on my dad's off-grid cabin setup, on some of the essentials, some of the basic necessities, in case some of you guys out there are really curious about just how off-grid works in some situations, or in his situation. By the way, this is my dad.
Hello.
So we're going to go ahead and do a little like interview style, few of the things that are staples on being considered off-grid. If this is your kind of thing, this is really interesting to you, be sure to leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys would like to go into detail about, what you might have more questions about, and we can do a follow-up video where we actually go in depth and hit all of the comments and questions that people have. Welcome back to everybody. Please start the video off with a like. If you're new to this station, please hit the subscribe button if you like cool tips, tricks, homesteading stuff, off-grid stuff, and more neat content like this. Let's go. Okay, so for starters, it is cold outside. What's the temperature up here?
Oh, it's about 31 or so today.
I can feel it. What's it been getting down to at night?
Lately it's been around 20 or so.
Yeah, layers. So what do you do for heat in an off-grid cabin like this?
I have a wood stove. It's about 28 inches long by 12 inches across, and it's not a big one, but it heats a cabin this size pretty darn good.
Geez, that's a lot of wood. Is this where you keep all your wood?
Oh, heck yeah. Takes a lot of wood for a whole winter. Last year I probably used probably 2/3 of it, and then I also keep a extra around the other side that's still drying for next year, and so when the weather gets good next spring, I'll transfer that wood into here.
So how much wood is in there, you figure?
When I started, there was probably 3 or 4 cords, probably, maybe even more than that.
And you built this whole structure right here?
Yeah.
So is this the light that lights it up out here? That looks cool.
Battery powered. Runs on a C battery, and if I need to come out here in the evening time after it's dark to grab some wood, it lights this whole area up and makes it easy to see.
Okay, so another aspect of living off-grid is possibly having a source of power. My dad's got solar power. He's got a couple accessory buildings here with all the solar equipment in there, and you can see behind us that there's some big old solar panels up there. Dad, what's a description of some of the things that you run inside your off-grid tiny house?
Well, I've got a inverter to change it over to electricity, and I got a control panel. Actually, I have 2 control panels because I have some smaller solar panels which run at a different amperage, and so you can't connect them to my other bigger one, so I had to buy a separate control panel to run them. But it's all wired in and goes to the batteries. And then there's I have some German batteries I picked up. They're pretty big, but nowadays they have a lot better choices for storing your power.
Well, this type of system, like what kind of equipment can you run in the house?
I have a small cabin, so I've got a full-size fridge in there, and lights, stereo, TV, DVD player. Those are the most of the things that I run. So, but it takes sunlight. So days when it's overcast or snowy or things like that, sometimes I actually have to resort to a generator.
Let's take a look at your generator setup.
Yeah, this is my generator. You want to have at least a 2000. This one's a 2400 Yamaha, which does pretty good at running the fridge and lights and stuff. I used to keep it in my garage, but I had to run a cord all the way to my garage, which was kind of a pain. So I built this little generator shack, I call it. And at first I built it with a minimal amount of air vents. And so my neighbor said he did something similar, and his generator didn't run as good because it got too hot in there. So he suggested me putting in more air vents. So I made this one here a lot bigger, because that's where the exhaust comes out. And then around this side I put a nice big one. So now when I run the generator, it runs real smooth, and you can open the door and it's not very hot in there. I mean, before I did all this, I opened this door and it was pretty darn warm in there, and the generator doesn't seem to like that.
Okay, so behind us I see you got a big old nice garage. That must be a nice space for what? Keeping all your tools and working inside?
Yeah, I keep my four-wheeler, and I've got kind of a shop bench area set up. I put in a wood stove here about a year or so ago, in case I want to work in there in the middle of the winter. It's nice having that extra space.
Okay, another important thing is cooking. So how does my dad handle cooking up here in the off-grid situation? All right, what we got here, Dad?
That's a barbecue. You can actually cook pizzas in it. Cook things just as you would an oven. And then on the inside of my cabin, I have a gas 2-burner stove type thing that has a built-in oven. And I don't use the oven too often on it, but that's about all you need.
Okay, there's the cool little propane stove with a couple burners in it. That's pretty cool. What's that thing on top of the stove?
Yeah, that's my coffee pot.
That's a coffee pot?
Yeah, I have to have one of those because if I'm low on power, I can't run a electric coffee pot, so it's good to have one of those. That way you can just use propane and make your own coffee.
Almost as good as Starbucks. So this over here, is this like a little kitchen?
It kind of like, yeah, for when company comes over, we can eat there, and it also makes into a bed, so they can sleep here too.
So what do you do for water up here? Do you have a well? Do you have how do you do water?
Well, I don't really have a water source up here, but my brother has a well, which is about 400 feet down the road here. And so I just go down there and get my water.
Okay, so you just pack up some water. How often do you have to do it?
Usually every couple days or so I make a little trip down there and fill up as many jugs that I've emptied. And it only takes a few minutes.
Okay, so you got a sink, but no running water through it quite yet. You use this just mainly for washing dishes and stuff like that. So it's plumbed in with a drain?
Yeah, I have a drain, and I dug a deep hole outside and put some rocks in it, and the dirty water just drains down and goes into the soil.
Okay, so I know you guys are probably wondering, where's the bathroom if there's no running water and stuff like that? So, where's the bathroom? What have you done for the bathroom?
Well, actually, I built a outbuilding outside, and that's my bathroom. Yeah, this is the wood stove I put in. I actually picked it up for pretty darn cheap from the guy that had just a lot of stuff that he was selling, and he had a little business, and a lot of times that's where you can stuff like this up, and works great. And I got a little fan, so when it gets hot enough, the fan clicks on automatically and helps push the hot air out.
So did you build this entire place yourself?
Yeah, had a little help from friends and family at a couple times.
Pretty cool. I know you guys are watching YouTube videos. You're probably thinking, do you have cell service? What do you do for cell service up there?
This is a cell service booster system that I purchased to have better signal up here. The towers are probably about 10 miles away, and I have an antenna outside also, which is pointed in that direction, and it makes a amazing amount of difference on your cell phone coverage. So before I put this system in, I was having trouble with my phone. Sometimes I'd only have one bar, and if I was lucky, I'd have 2 bars on my phone. And after I put in this booster, now I can sit right inside here and have 4 bars on my phone. And I can actually walk around my cabin now, and I can be 30, 40 feet away, and I can still have service out there. It's great.
Man, yeah, because this day and age, cell phones are huge. Just research and being able to talk to people, communicate, and to be able to be way out here and still have that is amazing. Okay, so I'll take you guys up here to the outhouse real quick and kind of show you that little outbuilding. Okay, so this is the little outhouse. It's got a finished floor in there. It's got a toilet, and it's outhouse style, but kind of like outhouse style done right. It's not like it's not a rickety outhouse where you're gonna have spiders and the floor's rotting out. It's pretty nice in there. But I didn't give my dad a lot of notice on this video, so I'm not gonna go in there and take a bunch of video, but I will snap a couple photos. Where I'm at right now, you can see the wood shed on this side of me, and behind me you can see the outhouse, and I think his power room's back there, and you can see the solar panels behind that. Right now he's in the middle of doing an extension to add a few things in his off-grid cabin. Telling you guys, it is absolutely gorgeous up here, and I don't know, it's just the simplicity of being off grid way up here, not being connected. There's a very special feeling about it. I love coming up here. I get excited to come up here. It is truly a cool experience to be out in the middle of nowhere, off grid, in an off-grid tiny house, not connected to anybody else, and be operating. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, I kind of surprised my dad that I was gonna do a video on his whole setup, so I tried to keep it brief without getting into too much of his stuff and videoing too much stuff, but he's totally down for doing another video in detail. So be sure to leave comments, questions, and that will format my next video that I do when I come up here, and we'll be totally ready for it. And we'll go through all those questions, answer all the inquiries in a little bit more depth in case you guys are really wanting to know how certain things work. So for now, just a little sneak peek on all the main aspects of my dad's off-grid tiny house location. Mostly just the essentials on how to operate and how to run, a gist on that information. I hope you guys really enjoyed seeing a little bit of it. Be sure to let me know if you want to see more. Until next time, God bless and have a great week.